Hello there. It's early in the morning. It's about, let's see here, 6:41. And I usually only get up in the morning this early for one thing, but that's not what I'm doing today. You would know that because I have the wrong disguise on. This is not the Chasing Trains disguise. This is the I'm riding a train to Salt Lake City for the N Scale Convention disguise. One of the people who's supposed to be going looks kind of like this.
What?
Huh? And so, as is the custom with adventures, they always must start with the coffee. And
coffee.
Just to prove that I'm not addicted to coffee, I'm going to show you. I got the small one. See that? This is the anti-stop I have to pee coffee size. And compared to the big one, there's the toast.
Chink.
Okay. And the trip that we're doing here is to
Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
But not in the awesome van.
No, we're not going in this vehicle. We just use this vehicle to go get the required necessity of coffee.
The nectar of life, as it is.
Yes. We're going back now to get picked up by Robin.
Yes.
Robin's going too.
Robin's going with us. We're driving to Emeryville. Gonna get on Amtrak and head out on the California Zephyr.
Okay, got two levers.
That's for, yeah.
That's the back. What's this one? Oh, I know. There's this thing.
Oh, there's a thing underneath.
Yeah, that'll pop up.
Oh, actually.
A little recliner there, huh?
Probably for sleepy time.
This is my first time on a long-distance Amtrak train, so it should be interesting. Is this your first time on a long-distance Amtrak train?
Not exactly. I went from San Jose to Seattle for Y2K, that changeover date, and on two private rail cars.
Oh, that's really cool.
Pulled by Amtrak, of course.
Right? It was
Yeah.
behind the Coast Starlight?
Yeah, behind the Coast Starlight, yeah.
Welcome aboard train 6 to Chicago. A little bit about the train. The restroom is located downstairs. Every car, several downstairs. Please, the children must sit in the seats at all times for their safety. Track conditions are rough. We're going to talk about the smoking policy a little bit, so I want to make that real clear about that so you don't have a bad day. It's a federal law, federal offense to have a smoke on a train. And that's because of potential for a fire. It's taken very serious. They've added a couple federal fines to that to get it stopped, put a little bit of bite into it, and they're expensive fines. They mean business about it. And if anyone has any questions about anything, or we can make your trip more enjoyable, please let us know. Thank you for choosing Amtrak. Have a good day.
Put the footrest down, and I can't reach it. I'm too short.
I put mine down too, and I put my feet on it. And I think that we've both come to the conclusion that this foot rest thing isn't any more comfortable than just having your feet on the floor.
No.
You know, I saw that back in the train.
Somewhere out along the shores of San Pablo Bay, my friend Marty catches the train as it runs by. Union Pacific's Benicia Martinez Bridge was built in the late 1920s by Southern Pacific to replace the ferry that used to transport railcars between Benicia and Port Costa. At just over 1 mile in length, this is the second longest rail bridge in North America. At track speed, it takes us about a minute and a half to cross the bridge. A couple minutes later, we're passing through an area of Benicia that was featured on a recent episode of Chasing Trains that you can watch by clicking on the icon in the top right corner of your screen.
Alright, so one of the cool things I've been enjoying so far on this trip is the fact that we're passing through areas that I filmed from the ground, and I recognize them from on the train, and it's a neat experience to see the other perspective of being on the train when you go past these places. So we're going to be stopping in Davis here pretty soon, and I'll recognize that too. It's pretty cool though. So now we're on the Yolo Causeway, which I've filmed from trackside many times. And once again, kind of a interesting look to see it from the train side.
As we approach Old Town Sacramento and the Sacramento Amtrak station, we cross the old rail bridge over the Sacramento River. You can see Tower Bridge in the distance. It's a vertical lift bridge that was designed by Alfred Eichler and opened in 1935.
We're stopped in Sacramento here. Thought we'd get off, get some fresh air for a minute. It took about an hour and a half to get here. Pretty cool. There's our train. John got a new friend. We're going through J.R. Davis Yard now in Roseville. Filmed this plenty of times from the ground.
As the train rolls toward the Amtrak station in Roseville, we're treated to a good look at the J.R. Davis Yard. You can see a lot of Union Pacific motive power being worked on or awaiting its next assignment. And they also store snow fighting equipment that's used on Donner Pass here.
George Spreaders. There's the one turntable that still exists here.
After a brief station stop, we're on our way again, headed east out of Roseville. It doesn't take long for the countryside to get more rugged as we head east from Roseville. Won't be long before we're ascending the western side of the Sierra Nevada mountain range. And what better place to check that out than from the observation car?
Hey John, what's your impression of this little ride so far?
It's beautiful. It's very relaxing. The scenery's gorgeous, you know. Mountains, trees, rivers. Sounds like a nature documentary commercial.
Sure beats driving.
Definitely beats driving out to Salt Lake. You know, it's a little bit more peaceful. Got to have a beer while riding. Don't have to worry about driving. It's nice. How about you? What's your impression so far?
The ride is very smooth, very nice. I find it a lot more enjoyable than driving over Donner Pass. Not that the drive is bad, but I would much rather do this.
You see so much more.
I mean, you see a whole lot more. The fact that you're not on the highway is nice because you see stuff that you don't normally see too.
Right.
Right? These views of the American Canyon that I took out the other side of the train were just amazing. just made an announcement over the speaker that we're going to be passing Donner Lake. And there it is. Yeah. We have arrived at Truckee. We're going to make a brief station stop here. And this is Train 6 departing Truckee. Eastbound for Reno.
One of the really enjoyable things about taking the train is you can see equipment like this on the side of the tracks. Something else I'm really surprised by is how quiet these cars are. I can talk to John across the way there. He can hear me. I'm not talking loud at all.
Actually, very quiet.
Yeah.
Very nice ride.
Mentioned a little while ago about how cool it is to see stuff you don't expect. How about this? The landscape east of Reno and west of Winnemucca is surprisingly green. I was expecting to see nothing but dried up desert. Our assistant conductor came on a few minutes ago. Said we're stopped on a siding because they have to move some freight trains out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, so we're getting down to the end of the day here. You can see that it's starting to lose our light. So my impressions of this so far is it's nice. You don't have to drive, right? Because I'm always the one driving when we go places when it's not a group of people. It's always my responsibility to drive the family around. And I prefer this, to be honest. So, I like it. What can you say about this trip that you've been on so far?
It's been very relaxing.
Yeah?
Seen some beautiful countryside.
Yeah?
At times, after a while, it gets a little boring. You get the same thing, especially going through the desert area. But I'm enjoying it very much so.
Very good.
It's a good trip.
I'd say much of the same. It's very peaceful, very almost zen-like sometimes, just watching the world go by.
At times, right?
In beautiful scenery, how you just kind of
repetitive
calm
sound,
down and
repetitive noises, and
sitting in even the seats are pretty comfortable, but still sitting a lot does get a little stiff.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, I'm glad we did it.
We arrive in Salt Lake City in the wee hours of the morning after some not so great sleep on the train. I think it's safe to say that all three of us have decided by this time that it would be better to have a sleeper and not try to do this in coach.
And you know, Robin, last week when we were doing that live webcast and I said we were going to cause all kinds of trouble, I think I'm too tired to cause trouble.
I'm too tired to even respond to you.
Right. Now it really is day 2. Something that I thought was really funny happened last night. We're sitting in the dining car and some guy walks in from some other part of the train. He looks at me and says, "Pterodactyl coming out of an egg." And I'm just like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And I looked and he says, "Pterodactyl coming out of an egg." And I look at my plate Like, what the hell's this guy? I look at I think Robin was sitting next to me, and John's over across the way there. And I said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "On your shirt. Is that a pterodactyl coming out of an egg?" I'm like, what? No. It's a scorpion. Anyway, before he left, continuing down the passageway in the car, I said, "Oh, I thought you were insulting me, and I couldn't think of a better insult, so I was just going to let you win." I didn't know what he was talking about. Pterodactyl coming out of an egg. What are you doing there, Robin?
Waiting in line to pick up the car.
It'll be a short line though, right, John?
Well, there's a couple of people. It seemed like a good idea at the time to rent a car.
Guess where we are?
Carousel will commence operation in 10 seconds. Please stand clear.
Hanging out in baggage claim.
For seats and outside baggage, please check the
We're in
flight
baggage claim at the Salt Lake City Airport.
They're kind of behind.
Kind of behind. There's a 30 to 60 minute wait to get your car.
A 30 to 60 minute wait to get your car? I've never heard of that before. Have you, John?
Nope.
They're waiting for it to come off the assembly line.
It's still in the container coming from, Mexico or wherever. And apparently they don't keep the cars here, and they keep them somewhere else, and they closed the road to bring the cars here.
Because
so they can't get the cars here, but they knew about this ahead of time, so you would have think they would have thought this would have been a problem. But
Yeah.
as the viewers at home can tell, Robin is very excited about this.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
I think we all are. This is really cool. I get to hang out with you guys in this amazing, look, it's clean and nice. But pretty soon there's going to be a whole bunch of people right here.
And I'm bubbling over with energy, can't you tell, from
All the sleep you got.
from all the sleep.
Yeah, we're very well rested today. Well, I did get to take a shower in the world's smallest shower. so that's exciting.
That'll be on the Channel 3 video, the shower.
Shower, yeah. Channel 3, TSG Channel 3. It's nothing but Airbnb reviews.
No, it's tiny showers of Airbnb. You know, it's going to be its own website, coffee table book. There you go, coffee table book.
Yes, but you have to be 21 to view it.
Right? Oh, man. Look, this plane must have been pretty empty. There's got one bag going around. I usually make videos in the Bay Area about how bad the traffic is. This is in Utah, Salt Lake City.
Man, look at this traffic.
Yeah.
Terrible.
This is around noon, and there's about, how many cars can you see? About about a dozen cars maybe in front of us.
Maybe like 13. Yeah.
This really appeals to me. So this is where the convention is.
So we're out here looking for lunch in Salt Lake City, and our good friend Robin says, "Hey, we can go to Buck's Italian Diner." As you can see up there on the
Buck's
corner
Italian.
of the,
Let's see what it is.
corner of the building there.
Yeah, Buck's. So it looks like Buck's to
Buck's
me.
Italian Diner. You know that Buck? He's really doing well for himself. He's
Yeah.
got those things all over the place.
Isn't Buck an Italian name?
Yeah, Buck.
Italian name.
Yeah.
Hello.
Seems like no matter where I go, no matter who I go with, I end up at these places.
The train shop.
A train shop. Oh, why thank you.
There really wasn't much going on at the convention because most of the convention goers were at the Heber Valley Railroad on the field trip for the day. So we spent the rest of the afternoon checking out a couple hobby shops in town and getting some frozen yogurt.
This is day 3. We're getting ready to go to Provo. But before I talk about that, what about yesterday? We went to the convention really for the first time yesterday, right? The convention proper. Got our papers, got our lanyards, got our little pin thingamajig. Saw some people that we know. I recognized some people from YouTube. That was kind of cool. Didn't talk to them. Maybe today, right? And then we're going to go to Provo to go to Train Life. Yeah, there's a layout, right, that trainlife.com had moved from Europe someplace. So we're going to go check it out, and then we're going to go to the convention after that. This is rush hour traffic in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Nothing like the Bay Area. Nothing.
We arrive in Provo around 9 o'clock and meet with Dan and Josh at the Train Life shop. While there, we take a look at the amazing work of Pelle Soeborg, whose layout, the Daneburg subdivision, was imported from Denmark by the guys at Train Life and now resides in their shop. While here, we also get a tour of the ExactRail warehouse, which has more cars in it than I think I've ever seen in one place. We return to Salt Lake City just in time to hoof it over to a eating establishment and have a late lunch. Then return to the convention center and spent most of the rest of the afternoon checking out the contest entries, casting votes, of course. There was a lot of really neat stuff here. The convention floor was full of vendors. They had all kinds of really cool stuff. Of particular interest to me were some of the 3D printed vehicles. Some of these dioramas were also really cool. This truck was from a guy from Europe. And yes, all of this stuff is N Scale. And as things were winding down, I ran into a couple other YouTubers, but we weren't done yet. Here's a rare sight. It's a Wild Wiley gonna run a train for real. Are you making it move?
Yeah.
He's running the train.
Sorry, you guys are running on the
Smile, Josh. You're famous.
Hi.
Famous star now.
Okay, I'm turning on your lights, by the way. Oh, I was just screwing around. No, I'll turn on the lights. This thing's got lights on the bottom. Oh, yeah? Yeah, both of them. Step lights on it? Yeah, cool.
We were kind of leaving the N Scale convention, and I got some messages on my phone about someone trying to contact me through Facebook, and it turned out to be a Josh McMurrin, and he belongs to the Golden Spike Club here in Utah. And while we were here, which you just saw a minute ago, with Wiley trying to run trains, he almost looks like he knew what he was doing, didn't he?
Almost.
What'd you think about that layout you just saw?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty impressive how they make it climb, you know, from their base level all the way to the ceiling, going back and forth through mountains, and the way it crosses over its track, it seems pretty realistic as a mountain railroad would do. And they've been there for like 30 years, and they're going through a big remodel on parts of the layout now, and it's always nice to see new growth on existing layout like that.
Yeah, really on
So
any
cool.
layout, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So even though we didn't get in any of the layout tours, official layout tours for the N Scale convention, we're getting our own layout tours just by people being nice. Isn't that nice?
Gonna put us on 15.
I think that's nice.
The layout Josh referred us to was that of Warren B. Davis. It was called the UP Bountiful Division. We visit with Warren as he tells us about it.
It's a 133-foot table. It's scratch built. And I did it to turn a big boy, but I don't ever use it for that. But I like the design. It's very similar to the Salt Lake turntable,
Okay.
but the Salt Lake turntable's only a 100-foot table, so.
Oh, okay.
For instance, the triangle building over there is Dimwad Electrical.
Mm-hmm.
You see the gravel pit down there is humongous, sand and gravel.
But it's in SD Blood
It says Roseville.
There's Roseville.
Yeah, they leased 3 of those SD 35s, 39s.
A fair amount of, you got staging underneath there, and it goes back in the other room I saw.
Yeah.
But how long you been working on this? Since you retired?
No,
We finished visiting with Warren and headed back to our hotel by way of a really good pizza place that was recommended to us by Josh and Company. Also want to thank Josh and Alvin and everybody at the Golden Spike Club who invited us over and made us feel welcome. We really appreciate it. It was great.
It's a perfect morning. So what did you think, John? Did you have a good time? What was your best favorite thing about the...
You know, for me, one of the great things is just running into people I know at the sort of on the convention floor,
Right.
such as it is, and getting to talk to manufacturers. You know, I like the people more than anything.
What do you think, Robin? What was your favorite thing so far?
Well, I agree with talking to the manufacturers, talking to especially in the swap meet they call it, whatever.
You had the big room yesterday?
Yeah.
I liked the trip, actually, coming out here. After a certain point there, about maybe halfway out here, I think I was ready to get off the train, but other than that part of it, I liked riding the train, and the weather here was practically perfect. I mean, I couldn't have asked for better weather. So I think I liked the place as well. So the venue was good. Meeting a bunch of new people and meeting a bunch of people that I've kind of already known because I've been talking to them on email and such was really cool. And meeting some of the friends that John and Robin have here was pretty cool too. Everybody I found is pretty cool, you know. And it was pretty cool meeting Josh yesterday at the Golden Spike Club. And it was also really cool for him to refer us over to the second layout that we went to. That was really great. And yeah, I gotta just go to the airport and head back. We've got a whole extra day of stuff to do here today, but out in the heat.
Lots of co-op.
It's supposed to be really hot back in the Bay Area today, so we're gonna be flying back to the heat wave. So we'll see you next time. Bye.